All business owners recognize the value of networking and building up a really important network, people that you can turn to, people that can open doors, people that can actually help you grow your business as well as buy from you. But what happens when you can't get to all those networking meetings anymore? And with all this social media, you're just spending tons of time and you're wondering, is any of it paying off? Well, today I'm bringing you a really special guest who's going to talk to us about a really valuable social media networking tool that many of us are underusing, but it's got the potential to blow the doors off anything else we're doing. Hi, I'm Melanie Benson, and I'm known as America's leading small business optimizer. And you are here on the Small Business Optimizer podcast, which is all about little tiny tweaks, proven strategies, valuable tips and insights from entrepreneurs just like you that will help you catapult your results with just a small tweak in your business. And today I want to introduce you to a really good friend of mine named TR Garland. Now, Wall Street Journal award winner TR Garland has turned the common challenge of low-cost, highly targeted lead generation into a systematic and replicatable process for any speaker, author, coach, consultant, trainer, workshop, seminar leader, and really anyone in the service-based business who would like to be able to grow their leads. And he's created this to follow so that they dramatically increase the number and consistency of high-quality clients they receive. And we're talking about LinkedIn today, my friends. And I got to tell you, I've kind of fooled around with LinkedIn over the years, and I've done this and I've done that, and I was like, oh yeah, we've sent an email out once in a while, and we get some people on our list, but I had no idea what was possible until I took TR's course, which blew my mind. So TR, I'm so glad you're here today, so we can talk about networking and how to really tap into the power of LinkedIn when we're wanting to expand our network and create more leads and resources for our business.
Well, I'm happy to be here. Thank you very much for having me. Obviously, you and I are having a conversation, but the truth of the matter is that your audience is getting to experience two successful people in business just chatting, openly chatting, and we are going to share with your audience insider information.
Yeah, and we should probably point out that we met in the traditional world of networking, right? I mean, we were in a networking meeting, but we met at an event, and we were introduced by someone else who thought we should meet, and the rest is history. We've stayed connected all these years and supported each other, and build business resources together. So it's kind of fun to see this coming full circle. So why don't you tell us a little bit about your story and how you got to the point where you realized LinkedIn was going to be such a valuable resource for people in our industry?
Oh, wow. There's a lot of different directions I think that I can take my answer so that it's valuable for your listening audience. But the truth of the matter is that I didn't necessarily plan on being, the world's first and only LinkedIn expert that's 100% dedicated to speakers, authors, coaches, and service-based professionals. I really did not plan on utilizing LinkedIn to the extent that I personally am using it and to the extent that my private coaching clients were using it. However, at the end of the day, it's not about LinkedIn. It's really not. Today's conversation is about LinkedIn. It's about the results. It's about the outcomes that are being provided as a means of applying particular relationship marketing strategies to this platform that we call LinkedIn. So realistically, my focus today is because it's getting results. My focus today is because many emerging speakers, authors, and coaches, and service-based professionals, and entrepreneurs, and small business owners. You want to know why? Why? Because I'm hearing stories about the business side of this business burning them out, or worse yet, bankrupting them because they're going to course after course, workshop after workshop. They're investing in particular advertising or marketing tools. And I don't know about you, Melanie, but I do not have $1 million marketing budget. Do you?
Not yet, no. Maybe someday, not yet.
And that's the exact reason why people listening right now should stay right there. Stay right there because you don't have $1 million marketing budget. And the only thing that all of us are left with when we don't have $1 million marketing budgets is relationship marketing or word of mouth marketing or reputation marketing. And that's what we're going to talk about today. And I'm sure that you can tell by the tone of my voice, that's what I'm excited
You love this. You love this. Well, and let's talk about your background a little bit, because there's a reason why you get the value of relationship marketing. By the way, I know not everybody has had this aha moment yet that we might also call it relationship collateral. The relationships you have are golden, but how you cultivate them makes or breaks them. So talk about your background a little bit before, you dug into this LinkedIn niche.
Okay, sure. Well, let me start off by saying, and those listening and watching might want to grab your pen and paper and write this down right now. Everyone has relationships, yet few people can relate. Right? Think about that. Everyone has relationships, yet few people can relate with the other person on the other side of the webinar or on the other side of Skype or the other side of the conversation. And when you stop to realize that relationship marketing is a learnable skill, that you weren't born with it, it actually eliminates all the fuzz. It eliminates the overwhelm of, I've got no marketing budget. I'm just showing up for this next meetup or this women's group or this chamber of commerce or this BNI meeting or this event, and I'm going to try and sell people there. So I just wanted to shift that perspective prior to digging deep and answering the question, I believe, the way that you want it to be answered so that it can add value to your audience. Realistically, my background, in summary, is that over the last decade, I've worked as a behind-the-scenes strategic advisor for a lot of the 7- and 8-figure brands in the personal and professional development space. One of them happens to be my friendship and mentorship with Dr. Ivan Meisner, who's the founder of BNI, Business Network International, the largest organized networking organization in the world. And I worked with him for 5 years, and a lot of his expertise, and mind you, CNN calls him the father of modern networking. A lot of his expertise ended up rubbing off on me because of the mentorship, the business partnership, and so on. And what I did was I realized that emerging speakers, authors, and coaches, and service-based professionals too, they really were thinking, oh, I'm going to win it big. I'm just going to master my message. And then I'm going to get speaking gigs. And then I'm going to get high-end coaching clients. And I'm going to write a book and I'm going to be freaking famous.
Yeah.
But you know what they're missing? You know what they're all still missing? Relationship marketing tactics, proven relationship marketing tactics. So to bring my answer full circle, that's why I focus on it. Because I see and I hear horror stories, Melanie, about women arguing with their husbands. Honey, I know that I invested our life savings on that coaching certification program. I'm going to turn it around. This isn't just a hobby. Don't go there. Don't go there. Right?
Are you spying on our clients?
That is my ideal audience. My ideal audience is someone that has graduated from Brendan Bouchard's Experts Academy or Lisa Sasovich's Speak to Sell or Callan and Justin's Magnetize Your Audience or Ted McGrath or any slew of people that are my friends that are doing a great job at inspiring emerging speakers, authors, and coaches. However, I'm hearing stories that they're still experiencing roller coaster income. And when I know that LinkedIn is the appropriate platform to invest their time, not to spend their time on Facebook, Twitter, or Pinterest, invest your time in LinkedIn and you will get results. That's why I'm so excited. That's why I'm standing from the rooftops.
So what is it about LinkedIn that's really creating such a powerful platform for people like us to build on?
I think the best way to start by answering that is by, again, painting a broad stroke, painting a colorful picture for your viewers to adopt. I've already adopted this picture in my mind, and Melanie, I know that you have too. My perspective is that LinkedIn is not social media. It's not social media. It's a social networking platform. And as a result, there's different etiquette to use in order to get the right results that you expect and the results you deserve. And there's different tactics, techniques, and tips to use in order to get the results that you expect and deserve. So if it's a social networking platform, let's pretend that LinkedIn is a huge business convention center, right? LinkedIn is a huge convention center, and they happen to be hosting a business expo every single day, 24 hours a day. And oh, by the way, they've gifted you, Melanie, and me, and all of your viewing audience, they've gifted us a free booth at that trade show. So if we think of our LinkedIn profiles as a booth at a trade show in which over 364 million people are going up and down the aisles every single day, I'm going to venture to say that the ideal audience of your listeners and viewers, Melanie, is probably in the mix of those 364 million people. Would you agree?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Right? Yet today, those people are looking to the right and looking to the left, and they're seeing that booth, but it might be underwhelming. You might not have laid the carpet down. You might not have set up the actual table in the brochures. And so my perspective is, if you truly think of LinkedIn as a social networking platform and you've been gifted a trade show booth, shifting it just from 10 minutes ago to now, when you adopt that perspective, you're actually closer than you think to getting results on LinkedIn.
Yeah. And, there's some really simple things that I learned from you in your course that just, I think, made profound difference in being able to stand out. And I think all of us get that there's a sea of people that do something similar to us that it's really easy to blend in and get lost in the crowd. What we want is to stand out.
Yeah.
And, one of the big things that I learned from you is like how to really stand out with just something as simple as your LinkedIn profile.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say somebody's got, the awareness now that LinkedIn has a lot of potential to open up new relationships, to maybe even be a good lead generator for them. What are like one or two really simple things that we need to do immediately to really stand out better in our LinkedIn booth, as you're calling it?
Sure, absolutely. That's a great question. And so let's simply start off by recapping the perspectives that I'm asking your viewing audience to adopt.
Okay.
Day forward. The first perspective is that LinkedIn is not social media. It's a social networking platform.
Great distinction, by the way.
Yeah, it's a huge distinction. And you know what? Melanie, do you have a problem being you?
No.
Yeah, exactly. I don't have a problem being me, and I don't think that your viewing audience has a problem being themselves. And that's what makes LinkedIn a perfect solution for them, because they don't need to be anyone else besides themselves as if they showed up at a networking event. They don't need to fiddle with black hat tricks of internet marketing. They don't need to spend a massive marketing budget, because everything that I teach is using a free LinkedIn profile. So again, I just wanted to reset those perspectives. And what I'd like to do is, with your permission, I'd like to share the actual 3 steps to my 3-step success system that I believe that your viewing audience should grab their pen and paper right now and write down.
Right. Go for it. I love it when we get right to the value.
All right. So I believe that there's a very simple and easy 3-step success system that you can follow in order to get the results that you not only expect, but deserve using LinkedIn. So the first step happens to be building the ultimate profile. Can you read that correctly?
Yeah, I love that you have visual cues. This is
all right.
Awesome. Profile. Got it.
So the first step is building the ultimate profile. The second step is building the ultimate network. Building the ultimate network. And the third step is building the ultimate conversion campaign. Building the ultimate conversion campaign. So let's go back to our perspective that LinkedIn is this trade show. We've got our booth. Your profile is your booth. And what distinguishing factors that I believe, Melanie, you were alluding to, is when someone doesn't make the mistake anymore of not paying attention to their profile and realizing that they do need to remodel their profile with trigger words and trigger phrases that compel the viewer to make micro commitments. In other words, to stay on their profile longer than just 3 seconds, because let's face it, we live in an ADD society, attention deficit disorder. Again, when you build the ultimate profile, you are designing your profile for your ideal audience so that they make micro commitments of 3 seconds, 30 seconds, 3 minutes, and longer of staying on your profile. And the best way for emerging speakers, authors, and coaches to understand what I'm saying is think of your LinkedIn profile as a landing page. Think of your LinkedIn profile as a landing page. And when you do, when you realize that from top to bottom, you are welcoming someone from your foyer to your entryway, right, to your living room, you're going to keep them on your profile longer. You're going to keep them in your booth longer. So once we've focused on building the ultimate profile, which is step number 1, which is the landing page concept, we're like, okay, how do we drive traffic to that booth? And that's what building the ultimate network is. The step number 2 is once you've clearly identified who your ideal audience is, the trigger words and trigger phrases that they are going to react and resonate with, then and only then can you focus on driving the appropriate traffic. So what I mean by building the ultimate network is we actually go through exercises that help you identify and activate the right relationships, professional relationships that you need in your network in order to accomplish your business goals. Okay, so step 1, building the ultimate profile. Step 2, building the ultimate network. And step 3 now is building the ultimate conversion campaign. And for those of you that are conscious entrepreneurs and don't really care to use the word conversion or sales, let's just adopt the word compel to action. Once you've got the booth remodeled so that your ideal audience's interest is piqued by it, once you've driven the traffic there and they're, scurrying around your booth, how do you compel them to action? These are all 3 very important pieces of a proven strategy, Melanie, that I encourage your viewing audience to pay attention to today.
Yeah, well, the whole idea of having a strategy, so it's just not willy-nilly. We don't need to be spending time and energy on things that don't generate results. So yes, it feels good to connect with people, but it feels really good when those people can help bring in sales or generate revenue. And so that's what I love about your system is you're teaching people that there are ways to leverage a platform like this and turn it into business.
Absolutely, absolutely. Can I say something? One more thing?
Go for it. Yeah.
So I'm going to ask your viewing audience to close their eyes for a minute.
Okay.
Do they know the logo colors of John Deere tractors? Do you know the logo colors of John Deere tractors?
I want to say they're black and red, but God, I don't know. Probably
the logo colors of John Deere tractors are yellow and green.
I was way off. I've seen a lot of them, apparently.
Right. So on one side, we've got the logo colors of John Deere tractors, green and yellow. On the other side, the logo colors of Smith & Wesson guns, it's just black and white. Okay? So here's why I'm asking your audience to imagine and view John Deere tractors and Smith & Wesson. Because building your own ultimate network is more about farming than it is about hunting. It's more about farming than it is about hunting. And I personally believe that when you build a highly targeted professional network on LinkedIn, you are going to shorten your sales cycle and increase your conversion. shorten your sales cycle, and increase your conversion. After all, remember, we're not talking about LinkedIn. We're talking about relationship marketing strategies that work. And we're not talking about that even. We're simply talking about what's that outcome. You want to increase your conversion and shorten your sales cycle so that you have revenue in the bank so that you can lead a happy life.
If you're a small business owner working way too much in your business, then you're not really putting your business to work for you. And you could benefit greatly by learning how to develop a team of world-class players to help you accomplish more and literally free you up to get more done. Now, we all want to shatter our income goals. We all want to be able to accomplish much greater results, but it's really difficult to do if you don't know how to delegate masterfully and be able to get the right things off your plate to the right people who will really get things done. That's where the power of the virtual team comes in. Be sure to get your copy right now at virtualteamebook.com. That's great. I love that. TR, one of the things I love finding out about the guests on this podcast is how did you get here, right? Like my guess is you, like so many of us, have had your own ups and downs of figuring stuff out, what works, what doesn't. Let's pull the curtains back a little bit and find out, like, how do you make this all work? You're training, you're working with these amazing leaders and advising them. You're coaching and consulting speakers and authors and experts all over the world to help them be able to leverage LinkedIn and other strategies to boost their business. Like, so how do you, okay, so here's the first question I want to ask is, what was the biggest thing that really you had to learn that rocked your world and really might have been a turning point for you that allowed you to do what you do best?
Okay. All right. So as you can tell, I want to deliver as much value as possible that's spinning around in my brain right now so that I can make you look good. Right, Melanie?
And I want you to look good.
So remember the question you asked.
Yes.
And let me first state that I'm desiring your viewing audience to grab their pen and paper and write down this next phrase that I'm going to share.
Okay.
Patience is not a virtue.
Okay.
Persistence is.
Oh, kind of good distinction.
I, in my 20s, learned that patience wasn't a virtue. Persistence was a virtue. Because life is tough. Life really is tough. You're right. I've had my ups and downs. I couldn't wait to get into the sales force of a Fortune 500 company in my 20s, and I was wildly successful. Number 3 out of a nationwide sales force by the time I was 23. Number 9 out of an international sales force by the time I was 27. And by the time I was 29, I'd had it working for the man. I was tired. It was like
a short cycle.
I was surrounded by all this lack of ethics and lack of integrity and lack of true professionalism, even though I thought that that's what professionalism was supposed to be. Mm-hmm. So then I started my own business at 29, wanted to be solely responsible for my own stuff. Yet I took my experience from corporate America, brought it into a field that did not have strategy, structure, systems, and professionalism. And before I knew it, I needed to open an office in Newport Beach, and I had 17 employees, many of them just showing up for work and generating 6 figures. So you can imagine how successful I was. Yet, I adopted something from my father, and my father kind of taught me to work hard to take care of my family. And I love my father. And so I thought I needed to work hard to take care of my family. Yet working hard actually, Melanie, caused me to develop severe panic and anxiety disorder. Mm-hmm. So I've had pitfalls, and I experienced that for 6 long years. And it was because the stress of owning my own business, the stress of believing that I needed to work hard to take care of my family, it compounded and compounded and compounded. And I'm blessed that my wife stood by my side every step of the way. But you know what? I stood up. I stood up for myself because my wife deserved a husband and my daughter deserved a daddy that realized that it's not best to work hard to take care of your family, that it's best to work smarter to take care of your family. So yes, I've got experience the last decade in the speaker author coaching space. And when I finally turned a corner, and this is going to be bringing that story full circle for you, Melanie, I believe that when people get laser focused on their ideal audience and the one thing that they can offer their ideal audience, that's when their business is going to turn a corner.
I love that you just said focus, laser focus. And you know, we both know, and we both have done this, you know, where you kind of get involved in a lot of different things and your mental capacities start to get overwhelmed and, you know, you're going in a lot of different directions. And I got to tell you, there's a lot of people think that's the path to great wealth and success. I love that you are helping to spread this message that sometimes if you just really claim your space and become the master at that, that is not just a way to success, but it's actually a way to being able to enjoy your life.
Of course. I mean, you know who I've worked with, so let me just simply reverse engineer. I was a strategic advisor. I'm the former executive vice president for Michael Gerber Companies during the 25th anniversary of the E-Myth. I helped Laurel Langmeyer generate $400,000 in 4 months by launching her Yes Energy book and a live event with 300 people. I helped the Napoleon Hill Foundation during the 75th anniversary of Think and Grow Rich. I've helped Brian Tracy launch coaching certification programs. And you know what? All along the way, I was building my own business. And I was working with Dr. Ivan Meisner, helping him with his business. And it wasn't until I said, enough is enough. And I was up in Beverly Hills, up by you. And I had a lunch with Marsha Weeder. And I presented her a business plan to help her with a New York Times bestseller campaign for her book called Meaning. She said yes. And I said, fantastic. And she goes, when does your team start? I go, my team? I'm only writing out the strategy these days. I dropped my team. I'm cleaning it out. And she goes, I dropped my team. I go, looks like we're not doing business together. We're just to stay friends. And you know what? I bring that story up because it was the last high profile no that I said. But from that point on, when I got crystal clear that I have this experience up here, Melanie, for a reason. It's to serve emerging speakers, authors, and coaches to bring them up to that level.
Yeah.
Because they are just as good as the well-recognized names of speakers, authors, coaches, workshop, and seminar leaders. They are just as good at their message to their ideal audience. They just need help, and that's what I'm here for.
Yeah, well said. And I love that you are a man who's very successful and has made the decision that lifestyle and being present to being a great dad and a great husband is just as important as all the financial success. And I think there's something really extraordinary about creating space for both and not making it an or. It doesn't have to be either or. There's an and in there. And so by saying, I want both, you found a different path. You shifted what worked so well from you and reallocated those energies to a different business model that will allow you to do both. So congratulations. I love that.
Thank you. Absolutely. It's about building a lifestyle-friendly business according to your own definition of what lifestyle-friendly means.
Dead on. I love it. Yes. I've been saying for 12 of my 15 years in business, like you got to get clear. What do you want your life to look like? And then design the business that gets you that. Otherwise, you're going to create a business that takes over your life and is just another 80-hour, 100-hour work week job.
Yep.
So, you got to reverse engineer from the ultimate outcome.
Sure.
So, TR, we could talk for hours on this, but then you wouldn't have a program to sell. Before I go into how people can find you and get more information on your LinkedIn training, I would love to find out, do you have a favorite quote that helps keep you inspired and motivated?
That is a great question. And the best way for me to answer that is to ask you a question.
Okay.
Have you ever read my signature in an email the quotation that I have after my phone number, my email, my name.
Well, I know I have because I've read your emails, but I don't remember what it is.
So let me repeat it. And your audience may want to write this down. Okay. And so here's what it says. Have you ever heard the term, it's just business, it's nothing personal?
Yeah.
I have, and every time I do, it still disappoints me because business is personal today. And today, people do business with me because of me, and they should do business with you because of you. Not because you perfected some PowerPoint presentation, not because you attended some sales seminar that taught you how to overcome someone's objections, but because you showed up as you, truly present and truly authentic to who you are.
Well said. You said that the other day on your class, and I loved it. And it's true, you know. I think we shouldn't personalize certain things and what we make them mean. We need to personalize the way we show up and really truly connect authentically with people and recognize that people are investing in us. And that's such a great distinction. So TR, let's share with everybody how they can find out more about your LinkedIn training.
Well, I realize that we've had a great conversation, Melanie, and I appreciate it because we are close friends. Our values are very, very, very aligned, and I want to do anything that I can to support you. And as a result, I want to do anything that I can to support your viewing and listening audience. With that said, I know that we kind of piqued the interest of some of the viewers, some of your audience about, okay, they were supposed to talk about LinkedIn, and what I got was shift my perspective. It's not social media, it's social networking. I got the fact that it's a booth at a trade show, and unless I remodel my booth, I'm not going to attract people. And then building the ultimate profile, building the ultimate network, building the ultimate conversion campaign. It's like you're kind of leaving me hanging, TR. And I realized that. And it's because we've got limited time, right? We wanted to keep it consolidated.
Can't get to all of it today.
We can't get to all of it today. Yet, I want to prove to your audience that I'm still in their corner. Today is the first of many conversations that we can have with each other. And so let's just chalk up this conversation as, you know what, TR, you piqued my interest. Tell me more. So how about this? Melanie, do you think that your listening audience would want to get a copy of my free special report called 3 Top Secret you can instantly make to your LinkedIn profile that'll get you found on Google?
I think that's such a hot resource, and I would love to share it with everybody.
Right? Because let me explain this. I believe that there's a 3-step sequence that you should follow for success on LinkedIn. Be found, be heard, and be hired. Be found, be heard, and be hired. And I want to help your audience be found by giving them this special report. So all they need to do is email me personally. Okay. I'm not going to send you to some opt-in page when I'm attempting to create a personal relationship with you. That's not my style. I'm about the relationships. So get your pen and paper and write down my email address, TR@TRGARLAND.com. TR@TRGARLAND.com. In the subject line, say, Melanie sent me, and I will personally reply and give you a copy of 3 top secret tweaks you can instantly make to your LinkedIn profile that'll get you found on the front page of Google and LinkedIn search. I'm helping you be found. I'm helping you accomplish that first step in the 3-step success sequence of be found, be heard, and be hired. That's what I want to do for you. Please, let's keep this conversation going. Shoot me an email, tr@trgarland.com, and say Melanie sent me, and I will take good care of you.
Oh, thank you, TR. And I love the personal touch there. Usually I encourage people to share a website, but you take such good care of people, and I know that you're really committed to the relationship. So I highly encourage you guys to get that report. Like I said before, I have gone through several of TR's trainings around LinkedIn because most importantly, I knew I was not optimizing. I knew I had no idea what I was doing. Sometimes I felt like maybe I was like blowing it greatly. And so there were some simple things that I learned that, especially just in the profile, you guys should go on LinkedIn and check out my profile and what I learned from TR. It's mind blowing what's changed. And, I just feel a lot more proud about my LinkedIn presence now, but I can tell that the people I'm attracting are much more targeted too. So TR, thank you so much for doing this work and for sharing this resource. Again, and we'll put the URL up on the screen here so that it's easy for you guys to find, or not the URL, but TR's email address so that you guys can easily find it. And it'll also be on the show page at melaniebensonstrick.com on TR Garland's episode. All right, you guys. So here's the action. I want to leave you taking action because everything's great and interesting in your mind. But when you put things into action is when real results show up. So I want you to make a commitment to do two things. First of all, get TR's resource, TR at trgarland.com, right? Did I remember that?
Yep.
And secondly, I want you to make a commitment to go open up your LinkedIn profile. If you don't have one, start one, and then put what TR shows you into action immediately. There is so much activity that you can do in this world. You want to take targeted activity that is proven to get you better results and make that your priority. This is absolutely one of those items. And I fully endorse TR's program. And I know it has made a huge difference for me. And I know it'll make a huge difference for you. So can't wait to hear your input, your ideas, what you see happen as you try some of these techniques that TR is going to teach you. And go ahead and share them on the comments section of the blog. All right, TR, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate you. I know how jam-packed you are and that you make just space for those personal relationships and for sharing this great content with our community. And as you are listening in today, thank you for being here as well. I appreciate you. I value your input, and I love it when you share these great resources. Just tweet them, Facebook them, share them on Google, whatever works for you. And come back again next week for another great episode and some more awesome resources. Bye, everybody.